Okay, so we are going to do question 1 in the semester exam. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. So we are in a perfectly competitive market where we are given a demand, total demand function in the market by P equal to 40 minus Q on 6. And there are 3 firms, perfectly competitive firms in the market with the marginal cost for firm 1 equal to Q1, marginal cost for firm 2 equal to Q2 on 2, and marginal cost for firm 3 equal to Q3 on 3. And so part I asking you to derive the aggregate industry supply. Okay, so in order to find the industry supply, we will have to find the supply for each of the firm first, and then we add them all up together in order to find the aggregate industry supply. Okay, all right, so part A. So if you remember, the firm is going to be supplying at the point where the profit for the firm is maximized. Okay, so say the firms supply, okay, at the point where the firm's profits, okay, are maximized. Okay, so the condition for the profit to be maximized for the firm is where marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. Okay, and in this case of a perfectly competitive market, then we know that marginal revenue is going to be equal to the price. Okay, and so we know that P equal to marginal revenue in PC. Okay, so in perfect competitive, I'll just write that properly. Okay, outside in. Okay, so perfectly competitive market. All right, so therefore the conditions for the firm to be supplying at the profit maximizing point is where the price equal to the marginal cost. Okay, so therefore for firm 1, the supply curve for firm 1 is going to be where the price in the market is equal to marginal cost for firm 1, and that is going to be equal to Q1. Okay. Now remember, in perfectly competitive market, firms are taking price as given. Okay, so the price is determined in the market, and the firm will just take that as given and decide how many units of output the firm would like to supply to the market. Okay, so whatever the firm supplies is not going to be able to change the market price. All right, so P over here is a number taken by the firm, and depending on the value of P, each firm is going to decide how much they would like to supply to maximize the firm's profit. And for firm 1, the firm is supplying Q1 is equal to the price in the market. Okay, so this is the supply curve for firm 1. Okay, so all right, so supply. Okay, for firm 1 is where Q1 equal to P. Okay, so P is a number given to the firm, and Q1 is how much the firm would like to supply. So very similar for firm 2, it will supply at a point where price equal to marginal cost 2, and that is Q2 on 2. Okay, so therefore the supply curve for firm 2 is Q2 equal to 2P. All right. So we just rearrange this. All right, so Q2 is how much the firm would like to supply, and that is equal to 2 multiplied by the market price. And so very similar for the last firm, it's going to be the same thing. Okay, so firm 3, price equal to marginal cost 3 and equal to Q3 on 3. Okay, so therefore the supply curve for firm 3 is going to be Q3 equal to 3P. All right, so we have found the supply curves for each of the firm. Now we should be able to find the aggregate industry supply. Okay, so industry supply is just going to be the supply of every firm in the market. So as said, industry total quantity supply, so it's QS, is going to be equal to the quantity supplied by firm 1, quantity supplied by firm 2 and a quantity supplied by firm 3 all together. Okay, so that is going to be P plus 2P plus 3P, and that is going to be equal to 6P. Okay, so this is the industry supply. All right, so part B asking you to calculate a market equilibrium, which is pretty straightforward. So market equilibrium is just going to be at a point where the quantity demand is equal to the quantity supply. Okay, so now we are given the demand. Okay, so given that the demand function is P equal to 40 minus Q on 6. Okay, so if I rearrange this to find a quantity demand, I'll get Q on 6. So this is a QD, okay, because this is the demand function. So QD on 6 is equal to 40 minus P, and so therefore QD is going to be 240 minus 6P. All right, so now I just have to equate this quantity demand to the quantity supply. Okay, so I got 240 minus 6P is going to be equal to quantity supply, which is 6P. Okay, and so therefore, if I'm solving this equation for P, I'll get 240 equal to 12P, and so therefore P is going to be equal to 20. All right, so this is the equilibrium price in the market. And having found the equilibrium price, if I substitute P star back into either the demand or the supply, so in either QD or QS, then I'll find that the quantity in equilibrium Q star, which is just equal to QD and QS, because they are equal to each other. Okay, so I substitute P star back into, say, quantity supply QS, I'll get Q equal to 120. Okay, so that is the quantity in equilibrium. And so the last part is asking you to find how much is each of the firm producing. Okay, so it's very straightforward. We know the supply by each of the firm. We know the price in equilibrium, which is the market price. We should be able to find how much each of the firm is producing. Okay, so we know that firm 1 supply, okay, curve is where P equal to Q1, all right? And so we know that P is equal, so Q1 equal to P. So this is Q star, okay, so I know that Q1 equal to P star in equilibrium, okay? So in equilibrium, the firm is going to supply 20 units, so I'll say this is Q1 star. Okay, so in equilibrium, firm 2 supply is going to be Q2 star equal to 2 P star, and that is just going to be 2 times 20, which is 40. And the last firm is firm 3 supply, which is Q3 star equal to 3 P star, and that is just 3 times 20, which is 60. Okay, so if you add all of them up, you see that they are equal to 120, which is the total quantity supplied in the market by the 3 firms.